is Do the Spray FM on African radio.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emmanuel Kolamde. You are listening to Rips Media House on our African Sport documentary. Today, we have Musangwe, issue of Musangwe. Musangwe is playing in South Africa. Every Christmas since the 80s, 18s, boys and men collect in the Tshifudi today to test their mettle. The Venda tribe in the northeast South Africa competes in a tournament held in the Limpopo province of South Africa, with temperature touching over 30 degrees Celsius. Men compete with little shade and shelters against others to prove themselves not only to others but to themselves. This used to be a ritual to select the bravest warriors, but in the modern days is used to usher boys into manhood. It integrates a notion of identity and belongings. This is Musangwe. Traditionally, women could not fight or attend, but in the modern days they have been known to do both. Women usually stay after the fight and over to clean up the blood from the field. There is a story of the most famous Musangwe fighter, Franz Mahler. This man could kill anyone with a single punch. The story says that Franz, participating in a fight, Musangwe both punched and killed his opponent. To prove that the death was unintentional, they told him to eat a gorilla, and if the gorilla died, then he will be released. Then he punched the gorilla, and the gorilla died. Description of the game: the combat range from 9 years to 90 years old. The fighters are split into different groups. Mambibi is for young boys 9 to 12. Next is Rover for teenagers 13 to 18. These groups compete early in the morning until it gets later and it's time for groups or people to come to see. The fighters aged 18 and over are called Nyanga or crocodiles. Fighters aged 35 to 45 years are called the masters, and those over 45 are referred to as legends. Rivals are separated according to the site of the Lundevine River or on which they reside. The Northerners are always paired with Southerners in fights. Winning is done if a fighter bleeds, gets knocked out, or surrenders. Some fighters cover themselves in muti, a traditional medicine extracted from trees or other plants. The word is derived from the Zulu word umi, meaning trees, or in some cases refers to traditional medicine in general. Some fighters believe that one can counter multi by covering oneself in urine. A man can challenge another competitor by walking up to an individual or groups with both foot held forward in a form of him. If he approaches a group, a challenge can be accepted by anyone if they come from forward with both fists held out in front. Sometimes some are unwilling to fight and they will shove another person out of the groups, forcing them to meet the challenger. This practice is actually quite common. Looking like regular boxing, the first fighting escalates into unnatural, uncontrollable, and unpredictable pugilism. Musangwe also allows headbutting, knees, and clinching. Fighting a knock person down. Fighting a knockdown opponent is against the rules, but people have been known to stomp on their opponents and taunt them to gain over the crowd support. Once a down competitor regains his composure and the fighting starts back up. When the fighter wants to admit defeat, he raises both hands in the air in surrender. When the fight doesn't normally offer any money or reward, fighters choose to participate in Musangwe because it feels empowering importance. Musangwe is a bare knuckle boxing competition that has turned from a passage into manhood into a sport for modeling and character of young boys. The ritual is now used to teach young men to be brave in a time of joblessness and economic hardship. The competition is also teaches young boys to keep out of crime, how to respect women, and to fight only men. The tradition is strictly bare knuckle and no gloves are allowed. This is all I have for an African sport document segment of Sport Also. My name is Emmanuel Kolamide. Remember, say something, and do something.
This is Do the Spray FM on African radio.